Tell me when. All right, here we are, the Ottolini Cuisine, all the way up in Alameda, California, with a very good old friend. I use his name as Gofredo because I knew him most of the time. When I knew him, he was Gofredo. We all have many names, but I'm sticking with Gofredo. Gofredo had a gondola business up in here, and we've come up and we've worked out a deal where we're going to purchase one or two of the gondolas. So it's sweet. Since we're up here, and it's kind of our Venetian trip that we're doing this year, since we didn't get to Venice, what we're going to do is we're going to cook a classic, authentic Venetian meal. Fegato alla Veneziana. So you come over here and I'll show you a little bit. So we have the liver. This is liver and onions. A lot of people will go, gadzooks, you're really going to eat liver and onions. But if you've all had it when you were growing up, you might not have loved it. But if you've ever had it in Venezia, you would absolutely love it. It's a whole different animal because the onions are sauteed to absolute perfection. The liver is cooked to that perfect thing, not completely overcooked, but with little crispy edges. You're going to love it, how we're going to do it. I'm going to start it off by, we got some smoking olive oil here, so we better kind of get it started, but watch your camera, don't hurt yourself. Probably a little bit hot. Whoa, mama jama. Yeah, we got a little bit hot. But over here we've got potatoes. We're going to steam these potatoes, and we're going to do the classic smashed potatoes, sauteed in olive oil and garlic and some onion. And we're going to have a little of the classic broccoli and anchovy. You know how much I love the anchovy. This is going in with the broccoli. So classic.
Anchovy italiane.
Classic Venetian dish. And this is how we're getting started with the onions. So we're going to saute these onions for a minute, get a minute and get them super soft. Then we're going to roll into the veal. Not the veal, sorry. The liver. The other part of the veal. You know, the veal is an animal. The liver is within that animal, and it's a beauty. So anyway, we'll be right back with you once we get these onions sauteed. Ciao for now. All right, you know how we like to do our broccoli, but here is seasoned up close and personal. We've got the smashed garlic, and we got the anchovy oil, and whole anchovy smashed in there. So we're going to just start throwing our broccoli in there. This is going to make that beautiful, beautiful broccoli and anchovy that you've seen us do before, but we can't stop doing it because it's so damn good.
Mouth-watering good.
Don't ever miss this. Don't ever cook your vegetables without anchovy. You heard me here. If I find you doing that, it's going to be the wrath. Enjoy. All right, so our broccoli is done. Broccoli, sauteed in garlic and anchovy. It's beautiful. Potatoes are done and boiled. You can see how we got the perfect smash in these things. They've got the crispy edges. So you put them between the palm of your hand and the palm, and listen closely. I can't hardly hear that one, but you can see how it starts to break open here from the skin. So when we fry that up, all these edges are going to get crispy, and we're going to toss it in a little bit more garlic and chives, which will be great. But over here, we got the mother of all big boys. I should have some tongs, probably. I bet you Gofredo can find some. Where?
Underneath the drawer in front of you.
To the right. You know, these new kitchens, when you come all the way to Alameda, you're not sure where to find the tongs, but we got them. So here, because I don't know how hot this oil is, pretty hot. Ah, that's perfect. Now the liver. So what you do is you take your liver and you slice it into pieces. You want to do it in batches because you don't want to overcrowd your pan. But this is going to be, oh, look at this liver. It wants to find love with the pan. We ain't going to let it. We're going to keep it moving a little bit more. We'll do it in a couple batches. The art of the liver is you get that oil really hot. And she is on fire. And that liver just starts to sear up right away. And watch yourself. Don't get it too much oil on here. Whoop! 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 It's alive! Look at that stuff fly through the pan. Look at the color of that thing. It's just starting to come together. What we need is a plate. Which is right in a bowl. It'll be good, because what we're going to do is, like I said, we're doing this in batches. So we're not going to overdo this. We're going to see what happens here. Liver starting to get a little bit crispy on the outside. We've got the softness still going, crispy on the outside, nice and hot. We're not going to overcook it. So what we're going to do right here is we're going to pull these guys out, and we're going to let them sit for just a momentino. And we're going to load up with some more. In fact, we're going to load up with the rest. Now this is liver, but boy, if you call it Fegato Veneziana, doesn't that sound so much prettier? And it tastes so much better. So we're going to be back with you in just a second. As this liver cooks, that goes into there. It all goes into the pan, and then the sauteed onions, which are right here, which are so ready to jump in with that liver. And we're going to mix those together, saute the potatoes, and life is bellissima. Ciao for now. So here's a fun little twist. Typically, you might use a little bit of white wine. You might not use any. We're going to put butter in later anyway. But to give that liver that smoky Italian flavor that you can't get from anything other than a marsala, is it a sweet or a dry?
Dry.
Of course, thank God. Why would we go for that or anything else? A little bit of this is going to go into that liver and turn it up a notch. Don't tell any Venetian ladies that are cooking liver and onions at home that we're doing this, because this is special. But if they see it, they might try it. So be careful of this, because sometimes this has got a lot of alcohol. Sometimes you can end up getting a little bit of flame on this. But, okay, we're cool. We're good. But that's going to go into that marsala, or into that liver, and just give it a slight little extra layer of flavor, and it also gets the little bits off the bottom, and we'll do that again later with the butter too. But that's going to get that liver looking sharp. This liver, I'm calling about done. It's starting to take on some of the color we want it to. It's starting to feel right, and so we're going to go right over into here. Actually, I don't want to lose all my juice, so we're going to put it in here like this. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, we're far enough along. Forget that. That's what they're ready for. Well, that's what I was going to do. We got a little too much liver in it right now, because here's what's going to happen now. Now, we're rolling in to these beautiful onions. It ain't your mama's liver and onions unless you grew up in Venice, that it might be your mama's liver and onions. Those things are going to heat up a little bit. This is getting hot over here. We're going to start putting these guys on here to start to get them to turn into golden goodness of the smashed potato. I'm going to save a couple for breakfast over here, okay? Going to grab a little bit more oil. Woo, doggy. And we're going to let those guys get a little crispy on each side. We're going to roll them over while the Venetian the liver and onions over here turns into magical goodness. We're going to end up taking this out, putting it on a platter, keeping it warm, putting a knot of butter in there to bring all the bits off the bottom. It's going to get poured over the top of the liver, and oh, come on. This is when the smell-o-vision should be alive and kicking, because this little house on the Island of Alameda smells like a Venetian home right now. Ain't that beautiful? We've got gondolas, we've got liver, we've got onions, we got potatoes, we got friends, we got wine, we got marsala. Ha ha! Welcome to Ottolini Cuisine. All right, here's how we finish this off. We've added a little bit more marsala and butter to the onions and the bits and pieces that we've scraped off the bottom. And what are we going to do with those? Throw them away? No, we're going to dump them right there, because that's going to make them beautiful. Over here, we've got our broccoli, which is just starting to brown where you want it to brown. That's beautiful. Potatoes, we're going to throw in the raw garlic. in there. We're going to hit it with a tiny bit more olive oil. A little drizzle. Did we put our onions in there? Did we? Where are those onions? Oh, I think we already put them in.
No, they're chopped up on the plate. We're here on the table.
Ah! Sorry. Then we're going to put a little bit of green onion in there. Then we're going to toss those guys up together. Mix that up. Smashed potatoes. Beautiful garlic. It's got chives. It's got a little bit of rosemary thrown in there. And it's got the raw garlic. Over here we've got the Fegato Veneziana with a little bit of marsala and that marsala butter that went over the top of that. This is just going to make that so mixed in there. Now that's not the liver and onions. So you thought, what happened? It's much better. And over here, we got the broccoli. Now there was a classic Venetian meal presented by Ottolini Cuisine in the home of Goffredo on the island of Alameda with Cavino filming the whole darn thing with a gondola sitting on a trailer out front. That's a night. Ciao, ciao. All right, kiddos.